Hello, and thank you for viewing our presentation of a new venture idea, Speedy Cup. The founders are Ann Tran, Lily Leiby, Caleb Carnes, and Kehinat Akbaryar. Please look over our agenda. We will be discussing the introduction, the mission statement for Speedy Cup, target market, product overview, market overview, including Porter's 5-force model, financial objectives, marketing strategy, environmental analysis, which will show a SWOT analysis, marketing programs, societal objectives, financial objectives, breaking even analysis, expected sales figures, and the controls. Thank you. Craving a hot cup of coffee but don't have the time to buy one? Are you late to work and don't have time to buy breakfast? Is it the middle of the day and you're cramming for finals, maybe midterms? Doesn't a cup of tea sound good? What you need is Speedy Cup. Speedy Cup's mission statement is to provide exceptional service in a timely manner, delivering quality coffee, tea, and breakfast choices to San Jose State University students at a convenient price wherever they need it. Speedy Cup's target market includes San Jose State University affiliates only. This is an exclusive service provided only and only to San Jose State University students, faculty, employees, or anybody in any way affiliated with the school. Now, that being said, whoever does make the order from Speedy Cup has to have it delivered within a half a mile of campus, meaning any deliveries made are either on campus or half a mile radius of the main campus. The reason this is so is to ensure quality. Speedy Cup's goal is to provide customer service at its highest level to ensure quality. So if you'd like a beverage very hot or cold, breakfast, whatever it is that was ordered, Speedy Cup really wants to ensure that the person ordering it receives full satisfaction as if they went to a coffee shop and received the product as is. I bet you're wondering, well, what is Speedy Cup exactly? Speedy Cup is a delivery service specializing in delivering coffee, tea, and breakfast to San Jose State students, faculty, and employees. Speedy Cup does provide quality assurance, fast and convenient service, the products delivered right to you, and the ability for the consumer to order by phone, online, or phone application, meaning either iPhone or other Android users, any other phone that can have the Speedy Cup application on it. In addition, Speedy Cup does do all of its own work as far as creating the coffee, the tea, baking all the pastries and the breakfast, and then it gets delivered to the consumer to the location that they like it delivered to. Now, getting to the nitty-gritty of the operation, Speedy Cup would be a niche business as there aren't any other businesses at the moment that provide this service, delivering coffee, teas, different kinds of beverages, and foods directly to the consumer. And not only that, but especially geared only towards a certain target market, such as San Jose State University students. So that is a bit niche business in its own. The competition would be low just because there isn't any at the moment. This is a creative new venture idea, and nothing like this exists out there. Demand would be high because there's a high amount of students who simply don't have the time to get what they want because they either have to be in class or they're studying, so time is always an issue. This way, the consumer can still do whatever they need to and get their beverages or any other foods that they want on time. And it is an innovative idea because, as said before, nothing like this has been created before. If we look at Porter's 5-force model, we can break this all down. So the bargaining power of suppliers would be high. The bargaining bargaining power of consumers would also be high. And now the reason that is high is simply because students can in fact choose to go to a physical coffee shop, and there are many of them around campus. However, at the same time, this could be viewed as somewhat low simply because if they wanted to have something delivered to them, we would be the only business in the area offering this. The threat of new entrants is low. Now, this is low for a few reasons. First of all, there has been no studies since this is an absolutely new idea, and nobody knows how much profit can really be made off of this. So it may not seem as a viable, lucrative business for somebody first starting off. But according to our calculations, this is something that would be very interesting and very lucrative. And then also, I think a lot of people don't quite think outside the box like that yet. A lot of businesses do want to simply establish the chain of Starbucks or Pete's or something like a Phil's, maybe a smaller coffee shop, but still a physical location. And the threat of substitutes would be extremely high, and that is because of the physical coffee shop locations in the area. There's so many of them that makes competition somewhat high. Competitive rivalry within the industry, again, is high because this business would be considered in the coffee making industry. And as we know, as it's been said, there are many other coffee shops in the area that other students can choose to go to.
This is Anne, and I'm going to talk about environmental analysis. There are two types of factors that we need to take into consideration when it comes to our marketing plan. They're macro-environmental and micro-environmental. Macro-environmental factors include demographics, economic climate, technology, and legal issues. Micro-environmental includes suppliers, channel members, competitors, and most importantly, customers. Okay, let's go into detail of each subcategory. For demographics, according to our survey, out of 40 students, when asked if they drink coffee or tea, 78% yes on coffee and 61 on tea. More than half agrees it was save time to have the breakfast delivered. About the economic climate, according to research, the recession did not have a negative impact on coffee sales. Technology, most of the students spend an average of 2 hours and 38 minutes per day online and shop online more than once a month. Most of the students are owners of mobile devices and laptops. Facebook is the most popular social media site, followed by YouTube and Instagram. About legal issues. To get a company up and running, the company needs to register with a city, get a business license with sales tax ID number with a county, get bonded, meaning buying insurance, apply for appropriate permits, etc. Since the business will operate on SJSU campus, there are additional campus regulations that need to be followed. Since the company will be serving food, it also needs to meet specific regulations, health and safety codes from the health department. Let's move on to micro-environmental factors. We have suppliers, channel members, competitors, and customers. Suppliers include roasters and other coffee vendors. Channel members are the employees who will directly deal with customers. Competitors include local coffee shops, and last but not least, customers include students who live on or nearby campus. Customers also could be professors, university staff, or residents within 1 mile radius from the business location. Hello, this is Anne again, and this is the summary on the SWOT analysis. So the purpose of the SWOT analysis is to provide information on our strengths and weaknesses in relation to the opportunities and threats that Speedy Cup will face. So the strengths and weaknesses are internal, and opportunities and threats are external to the company. Now about the strengths. Speedy Cup is all about fast service, it's convenient. Another strength is the company's business model. Speedy Cup will be the first and only coffee delivery business on campus. Now, besides the strengths, the company has several areas for improvement. The company is fully aware of its delivery rate, how much it charges due to cost of transportation and materials, which might interfere with sales and discourage customers. Another area the company could improve on regards the public misconception of the freshness of the coffee. It is automatically assumed by consumers that delivered coffee might not be as fresh. So we have covered the strengths and weaknesses. Let's move on to the opportunities. About the opportunities, we would recommend a company focus on its legal structure, including having a business address, registering a business with a city, buying insurance, and obtaining certification from the health department. It would also be good to establish the company's social media strategy, starting with Facebook, Yelp, and Google+. Although more traditional methods can also be used, such as flyers, posters, or one-on-one marketing. Besides the opportunities, we also have the threats. There are many threats to coffee business, but we narrowed down to two main threats, which are the competition and the product cost. These threats are important because they will directly affect the business of the company. And that concludes our SWOT analysis. Hello, this is Anne again, and this time I'm going to go over the marketing programs. We have the four-piece model, including product, promotion, pricing, and place, aka distribution. Product will focus on delivery service because it's our unique selling point. Promotion will use social media to advertise our product. A logo design will have attractive colors and easy to identify. We'll also encourage feedbacks from our customers to improve our product and service. Pricing. It'll be affordable and comparable to the quality of the coffee. We'll also try our best to keep the cost down. Place. The location is not extremely important in this case since our focus is the delivery. We will have several vehicles to drive on campus. Again, this is the four-piece model. For more information on other aspects of this marketing plan, please refer. Next, we're going to talk about our marketing strategy. Our target market is anyone who goes to San Jose State. This niche market is beneficial for us because we have a deeper understanding of our customers. We also represent our customer base. Our mission statement is to provide excellent service in a timely manner, delivering quality coffee, tea, and breakfast choices to San Jose State University students at a reasonable price wherever they need it. By catering to San Jose State students, our company has a better chance of gaining a name for itself without the high threat of competitors. Once our company launches and becomes successful, then we will think of expanding the business. To the next.
Societal objectives. This coffee shop is going to be beneficial to students by making their day-to-day life slightly simpler. It will do so through convenience, speed, and the exclusiveness of the coffee shop to students. Students will be able to have the coffee they need to stay awake and alert in class or while studying just by clicking a button. The ease and accessibility of the coffee will move the students' day along more swiftly. Speedy Cup hopes to build customer loyalty and to maintain it. We hope to have our loyal customers help spread the word of who we are. We have to separate ourselves from other coffee shops and create our name for ourselves. Speedy Cup can be a household name like Starbucks.
Slide. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Caleb, and I'm going to be going over our financial objectives. Our first financial objective is to survive a slow growth economy. This means that we want to make sure our business will remain in business even during these tough times, and since this is a niche market, we will have to make sure we have a positive cash flow. Next, we want to make sure that we are not spending too much on marketing. So after the first year, we would like to have our marketing cost equal to about 1% of our gross sales. As I mentioned before, we also want to maintain positive cash flow and keep profits greater than our losses. This is explained on the profit and loss statement. Finally, in order to optimize profits, we want operation costs to be as low as possible without forfeiting the quality of our products. Hello, I'm Caleb, and I'm going to be explaining Speedy Cup's financials in more detail. Our asking initial investment for this company is $100,000. According to our calculations, the break-even point in units for Speedy Cup is 36,570 units. Our break-even sales number is $166,177.80, and our break-even time is at the end of December year 1. I will explain these numbers in more detail in the following slides. So here is the profit and loss statement for the first year of Speedy Cup's operations. Our calculated revenue is based on what we perceive to be fairly accurate estimates. We took our survey responses, basically, and used them to determine our sales figures. After all the expenses and taxes, we calculated that there would be a net profit of $14,983.80 at the end of the year. We also think that our marketing expenses will be the largest expense we have because we need to try and gain a portion of the market share, so we want to try and put a lot of money into marketing to get our name out there. This is our break-even analysis data that allowed us to determine what exactly our break-even point would be. It compares the fixed cost and variable cost per unit to determine the number of sales units you would need to break even and when exactly that would happen. So as you can see, our unit selling price is $4.52, and that is simply just an average price of all the products that Speedy Cup has to offer, including coffees, teas, and pastries. Our expected sales units was the estimate we obtained from survey responses, which was 36,765 units. Now this number is the number of units that we expect to sell over the course of the first year. The break-even units is the number of units that is needed to be sold to break even on this investment, which is about 36,570 units, and that will bring us to break even during December year 1. This is the actual chart of the break-even analysis. Our total fixed costs came to $73,870. Our variable cost per unit, which is the amount it costs to the company to make one unit and sell it, was $2.50. Our average selling price was $4.52. This takes into account all of these factors and gives the break-even point in units. This chart on the bottom will show at what unit amount the company will start to make money. At 10,000 units, the company is still losing money, and it is the same with 20,000 and 30,000 units. It is not until we hit 36,765 units that there is actually a profit, as it shows in the chart here. This slide shows a chart of our actual calculated sales figures for Speedy Cup. At the top is our first year average unit sales per day. These numbers are based on estimates from what we think we would be able to sell each day. Each item is listed along with how many units we think we could sell by each month. Of course, this number decreases in the summer due to fewer students on campus, and the same goes for January during winter break. All of these numbers are multiplied by the days in the month to get the total unit sales for each item for each month. Then these totals are added up to get the projected total unit sales, which is 36,765 units. Below that is our list price for each item, which is the menu price of the items. Coffee will be selling for $6, tea for $4.25, hot chocolate for $4, and juice for $3.85. A delivery fee has been factored into the price of each item, which is why they seem to be a little more pricey than competitors. That, though, is what differentiates Speedy Cup, the delivery. And finally, the sales forecast is multiplied by the unit prices to get the total expected sales for the first year, which is $175,573.80. I am now going to be talking about the controls. As our first investment, we will purchase delivery vehicles. Speedy Cup deliverers will first be riding bicycles, but as we grow, we hope to purchase golf carts like the ones that you already see on campus. Next, we will hire employees based on the amount of business that we are receiving. More business equals more employees. Less business equals fewer employees. And finally, we want to make sure our business is successful, and therefore we will offer a survey for customers to take, which will give us feedback to improve upon as a company. As an incentive, customers would receive $2 off their next purchase at Speedy Cup for completing the survey.
We can't wait to hear from you after this presentation ordering from Speedy Cup. So just don't forget, what you need is a Speedy Cup.